Happy time zone, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Thank you so much for bearing with us while we are sorting through those technical difficulties. One of the runners' PCs having a bad case on Mondays, but it doesn't matter because we are here for the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando Tournament. This is the losers bracket round 4 matchup between Patrick and Xarnax42. Someone's going home today. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. On track and duties today, we have got VT Slacker. Without further ado, I am going to shut up and leave you in the hands of our wonderful commentator today, Mirai.
Hello, everyone. Yes, we are in the lower bracket here today, an elimination match. Big Picket being knocked down in the upper bracket in round 2, having to fight through 2 additional opponents to get to this spot. Xarnax, on the other hand, having the luxury of being knocked down in round 3, being placed directly into this round in the lower bracket here. So he has not had to fight for his life, tooth and nail. So we'll see if Big Picket is maybe a little cold. Maybe that was a bit of a mind game that Xarnax has been playing here in round 4. You got to pull out all the tricks here this late in the tournament. He had these delays, probably cooled off Big Picket here, so that's going to throw him off his game, maybe. We'll have to see what happens. I'm sure we will be off here shortly. Checking the race room, seeing what's going on here. We do have the countdown initiated, and of course, we've got a bit of a stream delay, so we'll be live here shortly. This is going to be a good match. It better be a good match, actually, with the delays that we've had at this point. I already have an idea what we're starting with today, but we'll get that on the board soon enough when they begin. Should be a good one. Should be a good one. Should be. Hope everyone's doing well out there today. More Z2R is what we need. We're nearing the end of this tournament here. Only 4 runners left. 5 runners, I'm sorry. 5 runners left. After this match, though, we all go to best of 3s moving forward. So whoever makes it is going to have multiple chances to stay alive. Here we go. 8 hearts, 2 lives, spell, thunder, life, dash, raft, boots, flute, 2 gems to place. Okay, so 2 lives, pretty punishing. We'll see if there's any lives in the drop pool. 8 hearts, not punishing. So those 2 lives won't be nearly as detrimental as they could be here in the setting. Mountainous West looking like here. Immediate magic container cave for Xarnax. We have Saria block as we usually see there on Big Picket's side. We'll see if Saria is actually a block today, though. You might just be able to walk around. But if not, we're going to maybe need to find Bagu. It's possible. All the health in the world, no danger, no big deal. Xarnax making it through. What are we going to see? Nothing. That's just a jar. Blue jar, red jar in the dark does not show up in the randomizer. So we are going to have a handful of junk items, seeing as we started with 3 items already. We have a bunch of heart containers that have been pulled out of the seed because they start with them, and whatever additional spells that they have that come from towns like Mido and Rudo and Darunia, those spell items will also be pulled out of the seed. So there might be a lot of junk items out there. We do have a glove hunt on our hands, possibly, though. We might see one of our runners go into GP without the glove, if it comes down to that, but we'll see. It's usually likely that we need that. So not too much in Magic Container Cave. Got the grass tile. Okay, well, glove hunt over. Glove hunt finished as Patrick is in Pillar P Bag Cave. Not too hidden. I imagine we're both going to have the glove here very shortly. Still need to find a way into palaces, though. We don't have the fairy spell. We don't have the magic key. Might be a little bit of work to get that. I don't remember exactly what spells we start with here from the Western Continent. Not going to be in Pillar P Bag Cave today. I think we've got 2 spells that we need from the West. Medicine Cave on Xarnax's side here. Could be packed with nonsense, could be pretty easy. Attack 1, making those Bogos take 2 hits, always very annoying. All generators like the birds, the Bogos, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, even tin suits take, well, sometimes tin suits take 2 hits. That's kind of ridiculous, but yeah. He's making it through. Although he might take a death here, Bogos and birds, he's gonna make it. Okay, second screen. Magic Container Cave for Patrick here. He's gonna be rewarded with nothing. Annoying moblins and bouncy cats in there. We got moblins in Medicine Cave as well. Keys in the drop pool. Might see some gambling on going into palaces if we get a few of those accumulated. Haven't seen a palace just yet. Money bag in Medicine Cave, $200. Going to put Xarnax at 222. Now we're going to go into Saria. We got Reflect here. Xarnax has shown us. Knows nothing at the front. Going to step out of here. No way across just yet. He's going to head to the east. That's Patrick. Going to see the grass tile. Going to get his glove. Someone lost it while mowing the lawn. That's the story today. The groundskeeper of this particular grass tile and this stone formation just left their gloves behind. Looks like we've got reverse fairy cave here. Xarnax into that. Might be our only way through. Red Dyra to greet us on the way out. 2 axes, 3 axes. Nope, 2, 3. There it is. Still alive. 8 heart containers. Easy game. All right, so we will have, looks like, Rudo trophy in play, and I don't think we're going to have, we're not going to have Mito, and it looks like I think we also have Darunia's spell as well, if I'm not mistaken, by the looks of the spell book there. So 2 other spell items also pulled out that we'll just have junk items for. All right, we're about to see what is on the other side, or maybe not. Xarnax pretty injured here. Haven't seen any 1-ups in the drop pool just yet. Getting out the other side of that fairy cave. Looks like it might be where progression is today. We've got a palace. First palace with the raft tile there. P2, P5. It's going to be P2. Stabbing the statue, getting the jar, indicating palace 2. We do have a raft. We did not get a raft check, though. Although Xarnax probably thinking about that now. Maybe not. Going back down. There is a lone cave down there. I don't know if that's a pass-through or perhaps another missing item cave. We are missing trophy cave. We're going to get a raft check. Over to a dry canyon east from the look of it. Desert tile sitting in the open here. Again, check the town first. It is Old Kasuto. We do need the spell from there, but we're a little damaged. So a game over is going to send us all the way back to North Palace. There's a magic container on the desert tile. Is life castable yet? Might not be. I don't... Flute check, 3-eyed rock, got a town. It is New Kasuto, going to be able to refill here. Patrick in the Lost Woods encounter tiles here. Might be looking for Bagoo, also looking for some experience, close to that 360. I don't know how much these red dyers are given. 100, that's going to give him the level. There's his magic level. Slightly better experience gains on Patrick's side there, 233. Pat and Xarnax at 222 still. Yeah, the thing is, it looks like unless, well, we do have the boots. So interestingly enough, even though the raft tile is kind of in the way to accessing the water on the west, you can hit the raft, be pushed over to the east, then come back from the east to the west, and probably see if the water where the raft tile's at will take you anywhere else on the western continent without the need for Saria. Then again, it could be triple segmented. That's happened before. We do see 1-ups in the drop pool there on Big Picket's side, so these 2 lives might not be as punishing as you might think they are. Xarnax getting a little beat up there by Moas in that encounter. Cross would be helpful in the east, but again, 8 heart containers really gives you some padding for taking some hits here. We do see a forest tile, no hammer. That could be something we need. This Max Rando flag set is going to randomly turn on the New Kasuto forest tile and 3-eyed rock here in the east. We call it the New Kasuto forest tile because that's just what is hidden under it in vanilla. In the randomizer, we've already seen New Kasuto is actually under 3-eyed rock today, and what's under the forest tile could actually be anything. Could be a palace, could be another town, could be an item cave, could be nothing. Nothing useful, that is. Still looking around. I've not seen a second. There's a second palace, but we haven't seen a second palace check as far as I know. I think we've only walked into that P2. Patrick beating up some enemies here. I think he's still looking for Bagoo. I think so. It looks like we've got P3 or 6 here. This is one of those palaces you just cannot tell the difference on the outside. Got to go inside to see who's in there. $50 from the red iron knuckles in this palace pool. Not so great. That's the lowest they can roll. We're still looking for Sunken or Risen P-Bag Cave. Possibly the water tile as well. We do have the boots. There's the water tile sitting in the middle like an oasis. Sitting in the middle of a desert like an oasis. Another palace, another town. Patrick about to show us what's on the other side of Saria here. Magic container on the water tile. GP sitting in the open on our dry canyon. Just north of there is Darunia. Oh, it is Fairy. Okay, so we're going to need Child for Fairy. This is where we'll get a look to see if maybe our Magic Key is progression today versus the Fairy spell. If the Child is in a palace, then the Randomizer is going to want us to have the Magic Key before we ever go into a palace at that point. Not to say that you can't just dig into a palace if you think you can find that item. But that is, okay, East Child. Could be a new Kasudo. I forgot how many containers it was to get into the basement. We do have a bridge up here. Is this going to take us to Maze Island today? Another cave. Is that that is going to be Jump Cave? Okay. Okay, it was 6 to get into the basement. Thank you. Risen P-Bag Cave for Xarnax here. Death Mountain for Big Picket being thrown into a completely different direction at this point. It will be interesting to see if perhaps the Magic Key is over here somewhere. No hammer, though, so I don't know how exciting it's going to be to check into Death Mountain just for Hammer Cave. I think Big Picket was just simply looking for a raft tile, knowing he's got the raft, knowing that the raft tile is attached to water, and just checking the water there before he's out. There's our child free in Risen P-Bag Cave. Xarnax is going to be able to cast Fairy, probably, most likely, 6 containers, 96 magic. It's possible that Fairy is more expensive than that at this level, but not likely. Then again, with Fairy being your only way to cast to get through doors, in palaces, 2 lives, if you're getting 1 cast of Fairy per life, that's only 2 casts, right? So you're relying on jars, you're relying on some potentially leveling a magic level at a strategic point throughout the palace dig, something along those lines. So we'll see how early Xarnax jumps in. Plus, only 2 gems, right? Only 2 gems. We haven't seen any gigantically fat bags out there. No 500, 700,000 point bags. So leveling going to be a little tight, possibly, for these runners. We'll see where they all take this. Again, Patrick at 233 takes the hit from the Red Iron Knuckle, takes the death. Lots of lives, though. Apparently, we have plenty in the drop pool. He just wanted to show it off. He just wanted to take the death and the Red Iron Knuckle, show everyone he's still got 4 lives, no big deal. And he continues on. We're still looking for Trophy Cave, as far as I know. Oh, Heart Container Cave here. That's right. We haven't seen it either. We did have the red dyer up front. We saw it in reverse from Fairy Cave, and I didn't catch the cost of Fairy there in Magic 2. 58. Okay, 50 bag. Speaking of bags, just the 50 bag for Patrick. Going to be getting up stab as well. Our first stab. Some like it. Some are neutral to it. Speaking of key, there's a key. He's got 2 keys now. Okay. Not quite Keymaster status, but working on it. We'll see if Xarnax stays on the east. We don't know what's in Death Valley. We haven't seen something easy like P1. We've seen P3 and P6 from different angles. We still don't know which is which, though. Boulder blocked cave there on the west. So we've seen the front of jump. We've seen Fairy. We know reverse Fairy is going to get us out of the starting area jail. Saria gets us out of the starting area jail going north. But, wow, what is this map? What is happening over here on Patrick's side? We've got like one kind of offset column of mountains here, giving us a 1-tile water walkable spot here to get into this palace. And our final town, which I guess is going to be Raru? Rudo, okay. No trophy, no shield. And P4, no reflect. That is in, whatchamacallit, Saria today. So are we missing a town on the east here? Are we missing yet another town? Do we see Nibiru? Do we care about Nibiru? We might not care about Nibiru. It might be under the forest tile as well. All right, might see a dig into this 3 or 6 here on Xarnax's side. No downstab though, so if it is 3, we're going to be doing a downstabless Rebanak with very limited, a lot of life, but limited resources across the board here. There could be a door immediately. There is not in this palace. Although he does get a key here. He did have a key out of the drop pool. He didn't get the key out of Heart Container Cave as Patrick has. But this will give him at least 2 keys at this point on Xarnax's side. Patrick taking a death there. A repurposed Death Mountain room here for Xarnax. Repurposed for palaces, that is. Junction, we'll see where it leads. I think it's going up. Yep. We don't really have any idea on items or like there's really nothing important. We have everything we need at this point, except maybe just maybe a key. We might see that that particular double glove locked room with the door in the middle in GP. Patrick not really finding what he wants to find here. This is kind of unfortunate because this is going to push him into Death Mountain here. This is not really good. Rock sighting. Unfortunately, no hammer though. Yeah, this is not good here. Lucky for Xarnax, he did check that fairy cave, and that was the answer. But Patrick might have seen that very early on. Not sure if he walked that way, but it is. If he did see it early on, it is something you could easily forget about when you're moving at this speed. Again, Xarnax with the strategic mind games in the beginning, the 30-minute delay, cooling off Patrick here. Now he's all thrown off his game. Patrick is the Max Rando defending champion from last year. Max Rando is kind of a wild west of seeds, though, so sometimes we always bring this to Patrick, but you know, no pressure on him. It's Max Rando could be you could be rewarded for lucky guesses over skill. So he does have to give up the belt though if he does lose at this point. All right, so I don't think we're going up again. Pretty sure that was just a dead end for Xarnax. Going to hold left here. He took a death and re-game overed in this room here. Got fast bubbles, kind of annoying. Did we have a MOA? If not, there's going to be a second bubble over here. I think that's what he got hit by. Got to just kind of scroll the screen. Okay. Yeah, see, lack of downstab. I always talk about this in 3, 4, 6. It's a palace pool that has Doom Knockers in it. And, well, we're in 6, because here's Barba. Outside Barba today. 155 experience short on Xarnax's side. Not sure if he's going to go out and look for another level here. Yeah, Patrick digging through Death Mountain at this point. Unfortunately, I don't want to say it's not the answer, but it's we still have a cave out there somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, we've got Raft that goes to west-east. We've got Bridge that goes to Death Mountain. And then we have... I guess we haven't seen Maze Island at this point, so it's possible that a cave can take us to Maze Island. We have 2 more caves out there. One to Maze Island and one to wherever else. Could go to the east. I don't know if we got a check on every single cave on the east from Xarnax's side, although opting not to go up against Barba and place the gem there in 6. Gonna up and A out back to the west. Xarnax is also going to head through Saria here. I don't know if Patrick found Hammer Cave or if this is just a standard 4-way network. I think this is just a network. Xarnax going to be exploring over here. Again, on Xarnax's side, he still has Trophy Cave, Heart Container Cave missing. I don't know if they're really super interested in that. He has his 2 extra containers at this point. Another container would be nice, but we know that there's not one up here at the moment. He will find P3, though. Again, I don't know. Well, maybe he's looking for Mito. Maybe he's looking for Mito to grab downstab, so that could very well be it, seeing as we are here, and he's going to go grab that. me see if we can find a hammer cave. Is this our hammer cave here? It is our hammer cave. We're going to go into hammer cave. I think if this were to be the magic key, that would be pretty big for Patrick. There's a bit of catching up he needs to do right now. Kind of, sort of. It would be a little worse to be in Patrick's shoes if Xarnax had just had killed Barba, placed the gem and whatnot, and been up 1 gem. Especially with all the Eastern knowledge he's got at this point. If this ends up being nothing again, and it may very well be, seeing as we started with so much stuff, then this is obviously going to be another time sink, another time loss for Patrick. For Patrick. Yeah, Xarnax just simply wanted downstab there. He's back through reverse fairy cave here. Patrick, no fairy spell to catch him and save him on that drop. I'm going to see a P2 attempt here. Maybe, maybe not. Could be an easy P2 into an easy P6, right into a GP. That could be the play. It looks like it's going to be the play now. What is in Hammer Cave? Show us, Patrick. Red Dyra, other than the Red Dyra. This is a vanilla Red Dyra, although... $200. The price is wrong. Yeah, so I think he's going to continue to look around in Death Mountain as he's walking out of Hammer Cave. Again, what might help here, and I'm just trying to, look for some light here. If he's not going to be pushed back in the direction of Reverse Fairy Cave, that maybe Maze Island, maybe Magic Key on Maze Island, maybe P1 on Maze Island. Maybe that's just going to be super simple, super easy, and he'll be able to just cruise from there. There is no real logic to where items are going to be just littered throughout all the possible item spots that they can be shuffled, so there's no bias that you can look for. If you have a hint, you have a hint. Otherwise, it's all just kind of whatever. Check spots and go. There's 22 total checks in the game. So not too many to breeze through, especially when you have the dash spell. Yeah, Patrick having a bit of a rough time here in this Death Mountain. No candle and, of course, no downstab. Did we not start with jump today? No, we did not. Okay. So, interesting. Okay, I thought we were about to walk into Helmet Head's room. Doesn't look like it there. And Xarnax going to up an A and start back over. That was not a dead end, though, so I don't know if he had found a loop or not. Kind of dark on his side, about the same. It almost looks like his palace needs a candle as well, but that is the console capture of Xarnax. Most people who have standard consoles that capture out of composite or S-Video have a darker scene to things. Here is the item room for him, though. Oh, speak of the candle. Big Picket, unfortunately, kind of just wandering around this Death Mountain. And again, it's, not the answer. It's not the answer until he magically stumbles upon that one Maze Island connector that may or may not be here. We are burning through magic, though, on Xarnax's side. Just burning through dash, so he'll be able to get a... Unless there's an... Oh boy. I was going to say, there might be a 50-50 jar here. If there isn't, that means there's an item up here at the end. Or there might have been a door in the beginning that he already opened that I didn't see. Oh, Patrick is going to find Maze Island Cave there. Is this going to be the money play? Is this where we're going to find our magic key? It's possible, but there's, again, no guarantee it's going to be here. Randomizer wants you to have magic key or fairy spell before you walk into a palace, but that doesn't mean that both of them are going to be accessible before palace access is required. The magic key could very easily be just sitting in a palace somewhere. Seeing as the fairy spell is, of course, always going to be in a town somewhere. Today it just happened to be child blocked, but the child was open and available. Patrick down to 2 lives now, taking a death from that blue Lizalfo. Looks like he's just going to dash over it. Xarnax down to his last little sliver of health here. Although, could probably use a refill, so... Patrick at 4-3-4 now. Xarnax still at 2-3-4. That is the one thing Patrick's got going for him here, is all this exploration is getting him the experience that is going to be nice, that once he finally places those gems, it's quite possible that GP is going to be rough today. We always pray to the Hyrulean gods that our runners have a nice, fun time in Great Palace. Hopefully that is true today, and if it is, more resources may very well be a deciding factor. Xarnax is spending a good bit of time in this P2, though. This is not necessarily a small palace by any means. Can be definitely roll into the 20s for the amount of rooms it can have inside of it. And if you're gonna essentially last location Helmet Head, that is you're gonna be digging through a lot of rooms there. Xarnax taking a death looked a little weird. That is phantom damage that you get from picking up a 1-up that comes out of the drop pool. Usually caused by the Bogos, and there are Bogos on the screen. Not always, though. Other enemies can trigger that phantom damage. Kind of annoying. He was on his last sliver of health, and of course took the death as a result. This could be our elevator here. It goes up. Also to the right could be Helmet Head in either direction. That's a quick little check to the right, though. We're going to try for a... Nope, we're not going to try for a blue iron. We are going to try for a blue... Lizalfo kill. Just 150 today. Grabs the key there on Xarnax's side. Not a bad play, especially when you're out of magic. Dead end. Nope, not a dead end for Xarnax. This is falling blocks. If he wants that refill, there it is at the top. Just wait for the blocks, Xarnax. All right, so this is a dead end for him. Could be a key back there, though. Could be a key. You never know. This is really what Big Picket needs, is that Xarnax is spending his entire life in P2 here. This is quite the palace. This is probably just, at this point, it has to be just up this elevator and to the right, and it's going to be Helmet Head's room. P5 on Maze Island. Thanks, no thanks. It is not. We have another elevator room, though. We have a second cave there on Maze Island. I wonder if that's going to take us east. Did we get a check on that yet? Or did Patrick just walk by that? I don't think we've found a single item here either. Here's Helmet Head. Item number 1 on Maze Island. Let's go. 1 up. Okay, can't open up doors with that. Oh my god, it is the boulder-blocked cave on the west. No, my Patrick is not having a good time here. Xarnax places his first gem 26 minutes into the race. Had he finished that Barba fight, we'll have to talk to him. He's probably got solid reasoning for not doing Barba earlier. I think really he just wanted to get downstep so he could show off a jumpless jackhammer. Second item on Maze Island. Annoying Tektite in the way. Hammer. Well, I guess we can get back to the west faster. Yeah, this Maze Island really, again, everyone seems to be spending a lot of time doing things. P2 is very long, full clear of Maze Island practically at this point. I guess we're going to always step on the second item again. Looks like we're coming back to 6 here. Barba's only, what, 4 or 5 rooms into this palace? There's definitely some possibility here to double level on Barba. Barba would have to roll all the way down to 300 to not give enough for... he's going to get a little bit on the way over to Barba's room, and if Barba rolls 300, he won't have enough for a level. But he'll probably just go get the first level before placing the gem, because again, he's... well, he likes his low resource digs. We're talking about Xarnax here. He likes his low resource digs into palaces and whatnot. Unfortunately, it looks like Patrick's still on the possibly wrong side of where he needs to be at the moment. Yeah, I think this is Meadow up here for him. I think he's in this area. Yeah, because here's the Death Mountain Maze Island Bridge. Yeah, this is unfortunate. This has happened to a lot of runners just over the course of tournaments and games. And oh, we're getting a Spectrox check. Oh, there's a magic container as we walk into Barbara's room. Again, we're watching for the jumplet jackhammer. Oh, we were wanting. Yes, he wanted it. He tried for it. Trying to be fancy, Xarnax. Now you're in the lava. Thanks. Well, Barbara's not too deep in, so I think he's gonna go for it again. I think it. Ooh, that was almost fire on the feet there. Oh, Patrick finding Fairy Cave. Here we go. Unfortunately, he's still got to go east. He's still got to see Darunia Child for Fairy. He's still got to find the child. He's going to be a little bit far behind here. Here's our trophy cave. You know what? Xarnax did not check this, and I did see this early on. Xarnax did not check this. Maybe this is, again, I'm holding on to hope that this is going to be a magic key just sitting here in the open, and this is going to allow Patrick to just kind of cruise through palaces. Wow, well, it's a non-magical key, that's for sure. All right, Xarnax is giving up on jackhammering at the moment. Oh, that's lava. Yep. On Patrick's side. All right, Barba down. How much experience? 300, 500, 700, a full 1,000, and $200 on top of that from the bag. How are we going to spend this, Xarnax? Possibly triple level? He might just jump the gem and see what's back there. Oh, I was going to say, oh, he doesn't have a key, though. It doesn't really matter. Fairy over the top. Doesn't matter at this point. Can be a very strategic move to save a key by just ferrying over the door. You know, so you just jump and dash to get up there. He does place the gem, though. 4, 4, 5 for Xarnax. GP ready. He's going to step out. And GP's just southeast from here. All right, Patrick to the east. He has the hammer. We'll see what's under the forest tile as well. 30-29, approximately about 30-30, 30-26 on Xarnax's side that we walk into GP here. Hoping for something terrible. All right, immediate waffler emoji. It is going to be a waffle room. No jump spell, so we're going to be carving our way through these. We'll see if Patrick can find that jump spell. I don't know where that was. It was Shield and Rudo, and jump must be on the east here. Oh, is that what is in Old Kasuto? It is what's in Old Kasuto. That is perfect. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, yeah, Patrick is going to have to go back for downstab possibly if he wants it. That's all the way back in the west. Wow. Okay, so we've got some options here. We've got upstairs to the right and then downstairs left, right. Nice eye junction here. 1-ups in the drop pool. There we go. Got an elevator up here as well. Another upside down T. And free Dark Link. Okay, well, GG's in chat for Xarnax here. Staying alive in the lower bracket. I don't think he's going to have any problems. He's going to have problems for the next 25 minutes or so on Dark Zelda, that is. So much for that tough GP. And there it is. We have a final race room time of 32 minutes, 4 seconds for Xarnax there. GG to him. He will be moving on to the lower bracket semifinals. Going up against Level Engine. This is a rematch, funny enough, and we'll bring this up in the post-race interview as well if Xarnax is going to join us. Xarnax sent Level Engine down to the lower bracket on a seed that you should probably go back, that race that you should probably go back and watch, but there was a bugged hint. There is a bug currently in the randomizer where hints can not appear due to some shenanigans under the hood that happened. And so it was a bugged hint, and Level Engine probably had that race very easily in his pocket. And that bugged hint allowed Xarnax to come back from behind and take that win and knock Level Engine down to the lower brackets. So this is going to be a great rematch. It is going to be a best of 3 as well. Let me just catch up with what they're talking about in the race room here. Okay, Xarnax will be joining us shortly. Yeah, unfortunately, Patrick was saying that he got Fairy Cave reversed in his mind and kept looking for the east everywhere else. That's what we saw him digging through Death Mountain. The thing is, though, you just don't know. I mean, the answer could have been there. It could have been, he could have stumbled upon that second cave on Maze Island that could have led to the east. And then in his mind, it would have been go through Saria, go to Death Mountain, go to Maze Island, get to the east. That would have been the access point for him until he saw the raft at some point, possibly. And so that's the way that could have worked out. Xarnax joining us in chat here. I was going to say ZZ, but GG, Xarnax.
Thank you very much. Man, I feel so bad about the holdup. I know I've been in the position where I've had to wait for a race for whatever reason, and it just kind of throws off your game a little bit sometimes. So I really hope that wasn't like that frustration isn't. It sounds like Patrick kind of had a mapping brain fart, and I really hope that the technical delay didn't have any part in that.
We were discussing that in the beginning. We thought it was some mind games that you were playing on your end, and thought, I mean, you got to bust out all the tricks here at this point of the tournament. So
no. I'm glad I was able to stream it all. I did a Control Delete to close Chrome, and it took 5 minutes for the task manager to show up. That was one of like 5 ridiculous things that happened trying to set up.
Yeah, I know you've had some minor issues in the past, but nothing that was like this crazy before. So.
No.
But yeah, from your side, like what did this look like for you when you were kind of walking through everything?
Oh man, it was kind of scary. Especially, I felt like 2 took forever. And I definitely didn't have an optimal 6. For some reason, I was thinking I would be in even better shape. So when I found Barba the first time, downstab really shouldn't have been a consideration because I didn't have jump. So jackhammer 100% was required on both getting a good spawn and the good timing. So I really wasn't able to save any time on the Barba fight by coming back later, which is why I left the first time, was thinking I would be able to.
Yeah, we were wondering why that was.
Yeah, well, there were 2 reasons. One was because I thought this attack 2 Barba with no jump and downstab is going to take forever. 2, it's only like 4 rooms into the palace, and 3, I wanted to come back when I could get more out of the gem. But really, the last consideration was kind of not very. That didn't pan out either because it was only 2 gems.
Yeah, and then you came back west, you got downstabbed, you hit P2, and now from our perspective, it's like P2 was forever. It's like you must have seen practically 99% of P2, and then at that point we're thinking it would have been a quick P6 and this terrible P2 now, and now you've got to go back and do another palace. But again, P6 wasn't that long, but P2 probably felt pretty bad.
It did, yeah. I was definitely considering taking that first left in GP, but I did feel like the order I found stuff was pretty good for the most part. It was a little bit of extra. I did a little bit of stuff that I really didn't need to do, but finding the glove probably was a pretty quick find for both of us. But yeah, running into the child and fairy relatively early, it felt really good. Because with Fairy, I knew I could get into my palaces right away. And yeah, overall, I felt like I probably was behind, but not by much. And if I had gotten really lucky, which it sounds like I did, I would have gotten any GP first.
Yeah, I wouldn't call your play. I mean, you did luck out in the sense that Patrick did. Unfortunately, he found Lost Woods, he found Bagoo, and then he got sent in the Saria direction. And you didn't have to do that. Once you finally came back to the west, you did have Ferry. You just ferried across the gap, and then you got downstep, and you were out of there. Up in that area, though, there was Heart Container Cave, which had a P bag in it, I believe. There was also the bridge, the Maze Island bridge that took us to Death Mountain today. Death Mountain, Hammer Cave was a 200-point bag. These are all things that Patrick saw on the way. Buried Hammer Cave. He was in Death Mountain for a hot minute. And then he found Maze Island. There was a cave in Death Mountain that led to Maze Island. He did all of Maze Island. I think he got one magic container and a 1-up out of there. P5 on Maze Island. Second cave on Maze Island that led to the Hammer-blocked cave, the Boulder-blocked cave on the west that I'm pretty sure you walked by. But you did miss Heart Container and Trophy Cave. Trophy was a key. Heart Container, again, was a P-bag. So he saw all of that. And he saw Speck Rock, which I forget what that was. It wasn't anything big. We were hoping he was going to stumble upon the Magic Key, but not in any of those spots. So, yeah, it was just he went the other way and you went the right way. And that's essentially that. Otherwise,
Right.
your routing was, I mean, solid. You know, you did the reverse ferry and ended up seeing all that. And we were wondering with the boots if you were going to check where that water that was attached to the raft tile would possibly lead to, but we never got a check back there.
Yeah, at that point, I didn't know that I had the boots.
Typical Max Rando thing shuffled into your inventory. You completely forget.
Right. And yeah, it was sometimes at some point when I was in the east and I came across some water and I was like, can I walk on this? I don't remember seeing the boots in my inventory, but but I should probably check. And then at that point, yeah, I was past. Then by the time I saw raft tile again, I didn't need to explore anymore.
Yeah, the east was rewarding enough to where you had 2 magic containers from the desert tile and the water tile, and then you didn't. I think it was 6 to get into the basement, if I'm remembering, but I don't think you went back there to check for anything. So,
Right? Yeah, no, because I was about to if the kid hadn't been where it was.
yeah,
Because I knew it
that's
was
true.
in the east.
Patrick did come over with the hammer. I don't remember if we did see a hammer check under the forest tile today. Were we missing a town? Did you miss a town on the east? I don't remember.
I never saw Darunia, I think.
Well, no, Darunia was. I think Naburu was what was missed.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's not what I said. But
We had the spell from there, I believe, though.
right, it was. No, I did find Lifetown.
I think you started with life.
Right,
What?
but then I also went into a town and
Oh.
read the sign and it said Lifetown.
Okay.
And I think that was Naburu.
Oh, and speaking of jump, that was Old Kasuto. You stepped in there, but you were very injured and no cross. Couldn't see the MOAs. You stepped out, went to New Kasuto, and then you never went back to Old Kasuto. But that was jump. We were.
Man.
I mean, yeah, you're familiar. You know GP. Waffle rooms, emoji rooms. You might want to carve through them in a certain way and go high, but no jump today. We were wondering if that was going to come back and cause.
Yeah, that could have been a big factor. I was definitely a little concerned about that.
Yeah, at this stage, it's just. We always talk about this. It's just you kind of wish the runners at this stage would definitely be tested by a great palace, and it's just Max Rando's Max Rando though, so whatever. You have to accept that Dark Link is going to be easily accessible at times, but it's just it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, with the 2 live starts, it could have definitely. I mean, even with 8 hearts, it still could have been problematic for sure.
Yeah, there were a lot of things. It was a really great kind of offset start with the 2 lives and the 8 hearts, but then there were also 1-ups in the drop pool, and there seemed to be quite a bit because we saw Patrick taking a death and then having 4 extra lives, and we're thinking, okay, well apparently he's picking up a ton of extra lives here. But funny enough here, your next matchup is Level Engine, and this is a rematch from earlier on in the tournament due to a very interesting seed, very interesting race. I talked about it right as you were walking in here. How do you feel about this upcoming? It's a best of 3 as well, so how do you feel about this one?
I forgot that. I mean, I would, if I were placing bets, I'd pick Level Engine to win, sweep. But it's Max Rando, and I've made it this far very unexpected. I've made it about 3 or 4 rounds further than I expected to. So every extra match I get to play is a gift.
Yes, most of us think the same. So, yeah, but I mean, I'm glad you're still in. You know, I like to see veteran runners who are able to make it further here. I know you don't do. You've said before you don't do a lot of practice with the newer version here. So, I know sometimes community rooms and whatnot kind of trip up older runners. But dude, you're doing perfectly fine, man. You're doing all good, and putting on a show here for us today. Very nice seed played here today. But I don't know if we're going to wait for Patrick to finish. He's gone into Death Valley here. He has found P1.
This should be quick. Magic 5 and 7 jars. That's a cheap dash at this point.
Yeah, all that exploration did net him. Oh, here's Horsehead right here. Okay. All that exploration did net him those additional levels. And again, we were, considering that this might be something that helps him in GP. But yeah, we could wait it out. GP is not going to be that long. I don't know if he's going to want to do an interview, though. It always feels bad. It feels really bad to just go the complete wrong direction. You have 100% the correct choice to make, 100% correct direction to go, and the other direction the complete opposite wrong choice. And it's like he just got sucked down that path the whole time. And you never know. I mean, everyone's been frustrated by it before when you miss a connector somewhere in Death Mountain especially. And so that's why he was probably just exhaustively clearing that place. And he eventually did find Maze Island, but it just did not lead him anywhere important because the other cave on there that led us back to the west today was, I believe, maybe I might be wrong on that. I think it led us back to the Meadow area and not to the raft area on the west. I could be wrong on that, though. I don't fully remember. But he is about to walk, he's about to walk into GP here in the next minute or so.
He's already seen it, right?
I believe so. It's right. Yeah, it's right next to Derudian. He's already got Fairy and stuff, so.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, it was linear in the beginning.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
That luck of just taking the right path is magnified so much when you have a low gem count.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, what was this? This was like 2 rooms to an elevator. The elevator room might even be next. He just needs to hold right, though. You didn't go down the elevator, I don't believe. I think you just held right.
That sounds right. Right, yeah, I saw the elevator and I saw there was a left and I debated taking it and then I went back up and went right.
Yeah, he'll see this here. I'm remembering this now. This is an I junction and hopefully he'll just come up, back up and go right, and he's not.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might loop back around left for him because there was that elevator that led to Darklink was an upside down T, so.
Yeah.
Oh, this could just be a loop.
He just picked up a key. And that reminded me, when I finished Palace 2, I noticed, or I up and A'd, like I went into the room after Barba for I don't know what reason. And then I saw the key, and then I up and A'd. And then right after I did that, I was like, I might want that key in GP.
Yeah. So Patrick has up and A'd out of GP, saved back to the west. I think he's coming back for downstab. Unfortunately, he was literally seconds away from Darklink. No, he's not downstab blocked. That was an upside down T room. He's good to go. That was Darkling's elevator right there.
Yeah, man.
He might have made that mistake thinking that it was the actual downstab block room, because they start similar, but the downstab block room has a longer hallway leading to the opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. This he's gonna see that and be like, "Oh my god." It was Xarnax. It was the delay. It was the hardware delay. Totally threw him off of his game. It happens, though. It absolutely happens. I mean, we had there was no rush from our side. We were all good to handle that, and everybody was jamming it to the ZSR playlist for Zelda music. So the hype and the delay was building hype for this. So at least it wasn't a super jet seed.
Yeah.
At least the seed lasted as long as the delay.
30-minute delay and then a 5-minute seed.
Yeah. All right, back to start. He's going to shoot over to Reverse Fairy Cave, hit the raft tile, walk himself down to GP. He'll be back in and get a chance to see exactly where Darklink was. I'm just trying to think of anything else. I mean, it's a very straightforward seed from your perspective. It's just really nothing else sticking out of my mind. I mean, it was all under control from our perspective. Again, when you're running, understandable that, you think you're either behind or you're just very close or something. You always just, for anyone who doesn't race, the timer's going for the runner. You're in an elimination match. I mean, this could be it for you, and so you're possibly making cutting corners and just making gambles and weird plays that you're thinking, man, I shouldn't have rushed that. I should have just taken my time, et cetera, et cetera. So, but from our perspective, I mean, everything looked pretty clean. There was not really any mistakes. I mean, really, the only thing I would call back to was just simply not killing Barba when you had the chance to, and you've already addressed that.
Yeah, you said straightforward, and that's probably a good way to put it. I didn't feel like there were any decisions that I had to make. I just kind of ran into everything I needed right off the bat.
Yeah, it was like 2 lives, but there's, you start with 8 hearts, and there's lives in the drop pool, and expensive fairy cost, but there's keys in the drop pool. So it was like everything where there could have been a handicap, could have been a bit of a caution.
I guess the one place I may have wasted time had the opportunity presented itself. Would be grinding. I checked spell and it gave me like a 20-point rope. The drippers were 70-point Stalfos, and none of that was worth investing any time into. Had it been, then I'm not sure. I may have put a fair amount of time that I would have ended up not needing at all.
Figured you would have been jumping at the opportunity to walk in the GP at 1-2-1. Just to test.
I did at Aaron TE2's suggestion, watched the Jake Hopper Trails race.
Ahaha.
And that definitely did put me in the mood for some low-level T-Bird.
Yeah, 64 hit T-Bird in that one.
Yeah. I think it may have been more than that, even.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard to count on our side as commentary and tracking and everything. And Jake Hopper was just saying 8 hits per bar, so that's just the number we were going off of.
Yeah, I think I counted 9.
Oh, okay.
That stop, yeah. I think I counted 9 watching Jake Hopper, but yeah, hard to know for sure.
All right, Patrick confirming in the race room that he did indeed misidentify that as a downstab block. We'll see if he wants to jump into the Oh, he's not that done yet. Race room is being a little finicky here. Not. It is not accepting. It is not accepting Patrick's finish. And there it is. Okay. Official time of 53:59, but it was on his own time of 52:27. Yeah, the rules are if the timer doesn't stop in the race room, the race never really ends and ultimately wraps back around, and there will have to be a re-race. We're going to see if Patrick wants to do an interview here. And he is going to pass on the interview, so that's perfectly fine and understandable. Xarnax, any final thoughts of this race, the tournament, the upcoming race, life, anything? What's on your mind? And then Psychonaut can take us out.
I think we've pretty much said it all already. Thanks everyone. Thanks again for waiting, dealing with the frustration of the wait. And thanks to everybody who put on the restream. Much appreciated, and looking forward to getting lucky a couple more times.
All right. That's going to be it for me. Psychonaut, it's all yours.
Everyone's still breathing after that? Yep, cool. Awesome. Alrighty, well, GG's once again to both Xarnax and to Patrick for that matchup. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words to describe all that. Chat, if you're not following them already, please make sure you do so. All the information is going out in the chat right now. Thank you to Mariah for the commentary and to VT Slacker for the tracking. Make sure you give both of them a follow as well. That's going to do it for us today here on DSR, but we've got quite a lot of action coming up over the next week or so. If you're interested in Zelda 2 Randomizer, can I interest you in any vanilla action, particularly the cats of the multi-variety? We got some multi-category tournament 2023 Swiss round 3 matchups coming up. We have Neon versus Prizibiz Nation, I hope I pronounced that right, happening Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. We have got Unos versus MWDA Shadow happening Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern, and we have LSD Hippie 420 versus Cantaloupe Me happening 4 o'clock Eastern on Friday. Channel information and all that will be followed up on in the next little while. And then tomorrow, if you're interested in some original Zelda action, the Battle for Hyrule tournament has some matchups happening. The Premier R2 matchup between Malchior and Almighty Bobino is going to happen tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern, and then about an hour afterwards we have got a championship round 1 matchup between Ice Blue and Improbable Spark. We also have the usual action going on, so don't forget to check out the schedule for all that information and all that good stuff. For the moment though, we are going to send you over to Zen Arcane, who is doing some practice of some flag sets for the upcoming Z2R Upstarts tournament. Sure to be an exciting team to be a part of, so be sure to go over there and show them some love. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Psychonaut, and have a fantastic rest of your time zone. Bye bye now.